Hey there, Gadget fans. Rick here again with another review. And today, I have the brand new DJI Avata 2 FPV drone. This is the very latest FPV drone from DJI, and it includes a wide range of really advanced features that make it an incredibly cool drone to fly. And I'll get into all that in a minute, but I always like to start off with an unboxing of any product I'm reviewing, just to show you what's included with the kit, and that way you'll understand exactly what you get if you decide this product's right for you. And then I'll dive into the specifications and try and explain what DJI's built here and why I think this is a fantastic FPV drone, and you can use some of those things to compare this particular product with others you may be considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. Now I've got the Flymore combination in front of me. DJI offers the Avata 2 in several different combinations. They have a basic package, they have the drone alone, and they have the Flymore combination. I like the Flymore combo because I promise you, once you start flying this drone, you're going to be having so much fun that you're immediately going to think, I need more batteries, and you're going to buy batteries. I need a way to charge those batteries. You're going to look for a hub. I need extra propellers. Well, all of those are included in the Flymore combination, and they give you a really good deal when it's all packaged together like this. So when you're considering this drone, and I hope you do because it's fantastic, think about, do I need the Flymore combination? Can I start off with the basic package? And pick the one that's right for you. But today I'm going to review the Flymore combo. So when you open up the box, the first thing you're going to notice is this beautiful carrying case, which I like for a lot of different reasons. Number one, it protects everything. So when I put everything in there, if I bang it around a little bit in the car or I go out and the ground's a little bit wet, when I set this down, everything stays nice and safe. There's no damage to any of the products. But what I like about it even more is the fact that it helps me organize everything, because look at all the stuff I have on the table. I promise you, if you just throw this in a backpack and you head out in the field, you're going to be missing something. You'll be missing a propeller, or heaven forbid, you're missing the controller, and it's just going to ruin the day for you. So it not only protects the gear, but it organizes the gear. And I know when I leave for the day, I just pick this up, head out the door, and go have fun flying. So great job on the case. Also included is the Avata 2. Now I'm going to get into this in a little bit, but boy, if you've never flown FPV before, this is a ready-to-fly FPV drone that I promise you, you can put the goggles on, make the connection, pick up the controller, and just start flying. It's really built to fly. So there's the Avata 2. Also included in the Flymore combination is the version 3 of the goggles. Now these are FPV goggles, and they're fantastic. They have done a phenomenal job. They've got a battery in the strap. They've got a crank in the back to tighten it up. It's got beautiful vision on the front of it. It's 1080p live feedback from the drone. It's just incredibly cool. And what makes an FPV drone so special is that unlike flying a regular drone that's a camera drone where you're looking at a screen and you're kind of abstracted from that flight, with this one, the minute you put those goggles on, it's like an out-of-body experience. You're immediately transported into the camera on the drone. So when you're flying through the countryside, dodging trees and flying over buildings, it's like you're Superman. It's like you're strapped to the bottom of the drone, and it's exhilarating. You should probably sit down the first time you do it because you're going to lose sense of where you are, but it's so much fun, and it's completely different than flying a camera drone. So goggles are included. The charging kit includes this case, which is basically a charging case that you can slide 3 batteries into. Now you can charge the batteries individually in the drone, but having the charging hub allows you to put 3 of them in there, and it's got brains built into it. There's a controller in the bottom of it, so when you connect this up to a charger, and by the way, the kit doesn't include a charger, so make sure you find at least a 65 watt PD charger to use to charge this gear, or even a 140 watt charger, but something over 65 watts in PD for sure. But the minute you plug it into the hub is smart enough to interrogate the batteries, find the one that needs the least amount of charge, and then charge that one fully. When that charge is fully, it's going to shut it off, move on to the next one that needs the least amount of charge, and then on to the third one. So it's kind of managing the charge cycle for you, keeping track of what's going on with the batteries. It's a great way to charge your cells. Also included with the kit is a connection dongle. It's a USB-C to USB-A. You'll plug this into the goggles and actually connect to your phone, because there's a rule out now called Remote ID where you've got to identify the drone you're flying, and you need to do that through an internet connection like on your phone. So the first time you put it up in the air, you'll connect to your phone, and it'll automatically do the RID initialization, and it'll be off and flying. So that's great. Also included are these 2 snap-on lenses. Now, if you're a little bit older like me and you need reading glasses, even though you've got IPD adjustments and focus adjustments inside there, which work for 95% of the flyers, you may need to adjust the lenses a little bit more than you can actually tweak them with the controls. You can take this to your eye doctor and have them carve the exact prescription of your glasses into these and pop them on the lens, and it's like you're looking through your reading glasses. It's absolutely amazing. You'll find 4 spare propellers. Now, the propellers on here are protected by these propeller guards, but I promise you, you're going to run into a tree, a branch is going to get in there, you may snap or damage a propeller. So having spare propellers is great. They also include an Allen wrench, which you can use to change those propellers. You're going to find a little pad here if you're too close to the lenses, this goes on the front. It actually pulls the lensing away from you a little bit to give you a little better focal length. So you may need that, you may not, but they include it with the kit. They also include a charging cable, which is a USB-C to USB-C. You can use this to charge the controller. You can use it with the charging hub, or you can use it with the drone to charge it off of your wall charger. The controller. This is the controller. This is a motion controller. This thing is phenomenal. So again, if you're trying to fly FPV and you've got a regular controller, it can take a long time to get good at it. With this one, there's gyroscopic control built into it, where there are digital gyroscopes inside the unit that know how you're moving your hand. And as you twist it and roll like this, the drone mimics that action. So if you want to go forward, you pull this, it speeds up. If you're coming up on a tree and you want to stop, you pull it forward like this, it stops the drone in its tracks. If you want it to turn left, you go like this, turn right, go up, go down. So you can fly with this and not have to deal with joysticks, which is pretty cool. Also included is a lanyard. I promise you, put the lanyard on the bottom of this and wrap it around your wrist, because you're going to start flying. You're going to forget you're standing in a field because you're in the drone, and you're going to get all excited and your adrenaline's going to start kicking in, and you're going to swing your arm this way and the controller's going to go flying into a lake. So use that lanyard on there to protect it. They also include a packet of instructions in here. DJI is great for giving you printed manuals that explain quick start guides, safety guides, all the things you'll need to understand about the product in order to use it correctly. So read through those manuals and you'll understand this drone fully. All right, so let's talk about the drone a little bit. So they've improved pretty much everything about the drone. Let's start with the camera. They've increased the camera size from a 1.3 inch on the older Avata to a 1.7 inch on this one, which will record 4K footage at 60 frames a second, which is crystal clear imaging. It also has an ultra wide 155 field of view, which means you're going to get everything from pretty much, sky to ground all the way to the edge on both sides. You're going to get a lot of video information in there. They've improved the flight characteristics as well. With a fully charged battery, you can get up to 23 minutes of flight time, which is unheard of in the FPV space. Most FPV drones fly 6 or 7 minutes if you're lucky, bring it back, change out the battery, and fly again. So up to 23 minutes, depending on how you're flying the drone, that's a long time to be up in the air. Another thing they've improved is the connection technology between the drone and the actual goggles. And that's super important for a couple of reasons. Number one, you don't want to lose connection to the drone because you don't want it to fly off heading for the horizon. So that technology they've built is called O4 or OcuSync 4. It's a proprietary DJI technology which guarantees a rock solid connection up to 13 kilometers away. Now you can't fly that drone that far. You've got to keep it in your line of sight. But knowing you've got that strong connection signal means you're never going to have to worry about the drone taking off on its own anywhere in close, even if you're behind a stand of trees. So the O4 technology guarantees that connection. It also gives you a crisp image of exactly what's going on in the drone from the camera perspective at 1080p at 60 frames a second. So you're looking at a high resolution image of what the drone is seeing. So when you're flying around those trees, you can easily dodge them without any issues whatsoever. So that's the transmission technology built in. They've also improved the flight characteristics because they've added a couple of sensors. So the last version of the drone had a bottom sensor like this, which helps it stay stable when it gets close to the ground. They've also added a back sensor here, which again improves the stability. So if you're flying it indoors, which you will with a lot of FPV drones, if you're flying through a warehouse or a building, the GPS doesn't work inside. So you need those kind of sensors to see where the ground is and make sure that you're flying stable and staying level. And that's pretty much it for everything in the drone. Now, I'm going to talk just a minute about why this particular Avata 2 is such a special drone compared to every other FPV drone on the market. First off, it's a ready-to-fly drone. Most FPV drones that are out there, you kind of have to build them, right? You buy a bunch of parts, you bring them home, you get in the basement with a soldering iron, you start soldering the controller to the motors, and you got to program it. And you need an engineering degree, essentially, to fly an FPV drone. With this one, it's called a ready-to-fly drone, which means all that work's been done for you. You basically slide a battery in, put the goggles on, make the connection, and just go outside and have fun. And isn't that what you're looking for? You just want to fly the drone. You don't want to be a rocket scientist building the drone. So if you're looking for an easy drone to fly, this is the one you want. Now, what's really nice about this one is that it's somewhat of a blend between a camera drone and an FPV drone. It's got the optics of a camera drone, it's got the stability of a camera drone, which is really important, and it flies like an FPV drone. So when you put this up in the air, if you take your fingers off the joystick and you don't move it, it's going to stay right where you left it. It's not going to drift either side. It's not going to continue forward and run into a wall. You have complete control, and it's immediate because of the OcuSync 4 technology. It also captures incredibly good footage. It has internal capacity in addition to the ability to add an SD card to it, so you can record for literally hours of footage on the drone. You can also get a live feed to your phone, so if somebody else is with you spotting the drone for you, they can watch what you're watching on their phone. And then the last thing I'll mention, and the reason they blended the two, is because with the camera drones that DJI builds, they build in a lot of advanced functionality that's automated. So you can push a button and have it do all kinds of tricks in the air. They built in 3 modes in here that are automatic. The first one is a flip. So you can hit a button and have it flip this way. You can roll. So you hit another button and it rolls like this, which is a barrel roll along a particular axis. Those are incredibly cool. But the third one is absolutely amazing. It's called the drift. And what the drift does is if you're approaching a subject like this, it actually gets close to the subject and then it spins around and flies away from the subject in reverse. So it's sort of drifting and then pulling past the subject. I cannot explain how incredibly cool that shot is. And that takes a lot of work if you're standard FPV flying where you've got controllers. It takes a long time to get good at that. With this one button and boom, it's drifting on you. So I think that's gonna be incredibly cool. And that's really all I had for today. I tried to get through this as quickly as possible. I like this drone an awful lot. I can't tell you how much fun it is to fly. I think you're gonna like it an awful lot as well. So thanks again for watching. And until next time, as always, stay nerdy.